Alright, you may proceed.
Okay, so we're getting farther, which is...
We're getting better at this, which is nice. Oh, lag. Don't do that.
No, dude, seriously. Game, please. So, yeah, so because of my Asperger's, I also have issues with sensory integration, which basically means, like, sounds are louder, lights are brighter, shit like that.
Yeah, overstimulation.
Yeah, overstimulation. Sometimes I get, like... Sometimes if I get and it's actually only happened, it's weird, it didn't used to happen, and within the past year or two it happened. I don't know if it's because I got my diagnosis and I know now, or whatever, but I think even before I would have periods where, oh, hello.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's called I blanked out.
No!
Alright, that's called I just didn't jump far enough.
Oh.
So I have, and I think I've always had it without realizing that that's what it was. Like, if I get in super intense social situations where I get, like, nervous and then, like, somebody says the wrong thing, like, I'll just, like, shut down. Or I'll have, like, a tantrum or something. Which is embarrassing as, like, an adult to have a tantrum, but it's just what it is. So one of my sister-in-law's relatives had, like, this, like, flashing necklace of, like, Christmas lights, and it kept flashing, and it was out of my peripheral vision, and it ended up giving me, like, a migraine. I'm pretty sure that that's what it was. But that was the cause of it. Okay. It falls right there. Okay.
I pressed jump! The leg got me there.
Input so bad, bro. So it basically, I don't know if it was just the whole situation or whatever, but it basically gave me a migraine. So I needed to go downstairs. I turned all the lights off where I was sleeping because I slept in my brother's basement because they don't really have a guest room, but they have like super nice setup downstairs. So I went down there, I turned off all the lights, I put a blanket over my head, and I just I took some medicine, and I just sat in the dark for like maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and that seemed to do the trick. And then there's this like game we play, that we used to play here. I think lots of people have, like, it's called the dice game, where you buy like a bunch of gifts. It's kind of like a white elephant kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I guess, when my sister-in-law came out here, like, we played it when she was here, and she brought it out to her family, so they play it now every year, just like we used to do.
Sorry, I got something in my eye.
So it's kind of cool that, like, we had this tradition of something we did for years and years and years, and now they're doing it. Like, even though, like, we haven't been out there for maybe 2 or 3 years, like, that's something they do every year now. Like, that's a tradition we had that they picked up. Except they do it, like...
You can do this at a full run. Did you see that?
What?
You can do that whole thing as a full run.
Oh, nice.
Just straight run.
Okay.
And it works.
Okay.
Got it!
I have faith.
No! Again! I'm getting better at it, though. I'm getting consistently to the cheeps.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely full run that last part after you wait for the shell.
Okay.
Yeah, once you have the P-switch and are waiting for the shell in the water, you can do a full run that last part.
Okay. I may or may not try it. We'll
see.
You
don't have to. It might be easier. If you mess it up, though, like, then, the whole system's off.
Right. Oh, you mean kind of like...
Just like that.
That.
And then that guy doesn't spawn that way. Nice. Oh, God.
Okay. I don't know. I'm still gonna jump there.
Yeah. No! No! Yeah,
again, it was like, jump on... Oh my god, I'm not gonna make a jump on the Billa. Wait. So yeah, it's cool. And then so we played that, and then the only bad thing about that is there was a bunch of like cross conversations. So there were like 2 or 3 different conversations happening at the same time, and so that kind of screwed with me too. Like at one point, I literally put my hands over my ears because I couldn't take all the crosstalk. So that was kind of frustrating. But the first night we got there, we went to a Washington Wizards game, since my brothers, because they had like the metro there, so like everything's super connected.
Yeah, I did it wrong.
Like Maryland and DC and Virginia. So we went to, which is their basketball team, because the Chicago Bulls were playing, and my brother's a really big Bulls fan. And so we went there, and we went to this like tapas place, which I guess is like some like, I mean, the only way I can define it is like a Mexican version of the melting pot, essentially. But that's the only way I can really describe it. But I guess my brother goes there quite a bit because he has expendable income, which I'm pretty jealous of. Why am I not jumping, dude? So, which he doesn't realize, anybody who has a full-time job and has some type of expendable income, you don't realize how good you have it.
Yeah.
Because I work 20 hours a week, and I've been working 20 hours a week for 2.5 months, and I'm exhausted. Like, I need to take all the days off I can to, like, recover. Like, it's so dumb. Like, because I just get so tired so easily and overwhelmed or whatever. So, if you have a full-time job, like, please be thanking your stars that you have a full-time job and you're able to actually do it and not need to sleep all the time. Just please. So we went, and like it was really, really cool, and I actually tried to be a little bit adventurous and try some different things that I wouldn't normally try, and you know, so that was kind of scary, but also fun.
New things, no.
Yeah, I know. But there was this super distracting picture in my eyeline that, like, it's one of those, like the famous picture of, like, do you see the woman or do you see, like, a
Oh,
face?
yeah.
It was one of those pictures, and it was incredibly distracting, because now that I'm, like, kind of seeing someone, kind of not seeing someone, like, it was like this picture that looked like it was very like sexual in nature.
Oh dear.
And, like, that's what I was seeing because that's where my brain is right now. So it was like really distracting to be talking to my brother about all this stuff and be like, there's this stuff happening in the corner of my eye. Like, it was interesting. So, but it was super good. And if you have,
No, why did I jump?
if you know of a tapas place near you, I would highly recommend trying it out. Because I guess we have one around here, maybe? I don't know. But it was really cool. It was a cool experience.
So, most tapas places I've been to are like, you just order a bunch of like appetizer-like things and you all share it. Yeah,
Right.
that's really fun, actually. Sometimes going to a restaurant, I'll just make my own tapas by just ordering a whole bunch of appetizers with people.
Right. That's kind of what it was. He's like, here, you just order like a bunch of things, and it's like tiny little appetizer plates, and everybody gets to try some stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice.
God, I wish I can remember the name. Coquitas, I think?
Sure.
It's like this, like, fried ball of chicken mush goodness thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's really freaking good. And it's like chicken mushed in a ball and fried, and it's delicious.
Anything deep fried is good.
Yeah, basically. So that was pretty cool. And there was something else, and like, I'm not a huge fan of like bacon outside of like breakfast food and maybe like BLT sandwiches, but like there were these bacon wrapped scallops that were pretty good, and a couple of other things that I can't remember that were pretty good. And then we went to the Wizards game, and they ended up winning, which was cool. And so then we came back, and I met up with this guy I'm seeing like the day before we left, and my mom knows about him now, so I kind of had to force my hand a little bit on that, and that did not make me happy to do right before vacation, because I still don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Then we met up after we got back, and I kind of told him I felt like a sex object. Which is kind of like you sending the thing about what you sent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I need to tell this story on camera. I said.
Did you literally tell him you feel like a sex object?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And so then...
I don't get to say anything about that because of the text I sent.
Right. What I should have said was... Well, basically, he met up with me at work again, and we made out, and we got caught. And so... What I should have said is I feel objectified, but that's not how it came out. And then it was one of those things where I sent it, and I was like...
Why did I send that? Oh god, bye.
Fuck, yeah, exactly.
Undo! Undo! Okay.
And I basically said, look, I just... And so, I didn't hear from him for a couple of days after that.
So, clearly he hated you, and your life is over, and you're gonna join me in the cave, right?
Yes, I will join you. Yes, that's what it was. And I was like, no, I screwed this up. Like, when am I gonna ever get another chance to possibly have a relationship again? And, oh my god, I fucked this up so bad. Like,
everything's ruined.
Why would I use that wording? Like, that's such strong wording. And so, yeah. So I went through all that. And then I didn't hear from him for a couple of days, and I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Okay. Serious time, let's go.
No!
Physics, please.
Okay, so you didn't hear from him for a while.
Yeah. And then just as like... So I've had this too with my best friend that I've known for like, or been talking to regularly for over a year now. I've had periods of time where I thought I messed up with him, and we haven't talked for a couple of days, and all this stuff. And so one of the things I learned from him was that sometimes, like, you just have to try to like put it out there and have a little bit of faith, right?
Yeah.
And like, over time, like with him in particular, like the times like where we haven't talked or that I've kind of isolated myself have gone down and down and down because I've known him for so long.
Yeah.
And so after a couple of days of not hearing from him, I just kind of sent a text that just said, hey. And like he's having trouble with money right now. And he had a job when I met him, and like a full-time job, but like they cut his hours back dramatically, and so now he's kind of doing, you know, just random work here and there to make money. And he messaged me back and said, you know, basically along the lines of, sorry I haven't messaged you lately, but I've been really strapped for money and I've been trying to work on that and I just haven't had the time. And so I was like, oh, yay, I didn't fuck up, hallelujah. And so, like, and then, like, in regards to worrying about, you know, and then I talked with Lizzie a little bit about, I'm not sure if this is, like, a relationship or a friends with benefits thing, and I talked with her and I talked with Eddie or whatever. And so he sent me a message today, and he said, I wish I had a better job so that way we can go out and do things and hang out. And I was like, yay, that means he doesn't just want me for my body.
Hooray!
Awesome. Yay.
Yep, because
So
that's just what we think is the worst thing possible.
Right. But then I was thinking too, like, if it did kind of go that direction, I might kind of be down for it at this point, because before I like went on a date with him, I've gone on a date in a few months. Oh my god, this lag is horrible. Just worry about the platforming. Don't even, like, look at the enemies, is what I've been trying to do.
No! It's that jump. I can't do that jump.
Okay.
So you'd be okay with being friends with benefits?
Maybe? Maybe. That's the first time I've done that in a long time. Because before I went on a date with him, I had gone on a date a couple of months prior. Interestingly enough, what you could consider a mania phase, like, I still think you can make a small case for bipolar with me, but, like, where I kind of do spontaneous things that don't make sense and think it's a really fucking good idea.
At the time.
So one day I was like, I put an ad on Craigslist for the women seeking men section, and somehow I thought this was like the best idea ever. Not the best idea, but a high quality idea.
A really good idea.
Yeah, it's just... It's impulsive things that may not be the best idea, but sound like a good idea. They could be called a manic thing, but maybe just... I don't know, it's strange. But... So this was actually shortly after I quit McDonald's and got out of outpatient for the second time. And so I was like, so that was a couple of months ago. And
yes, we'll continue this in a moment.
Okay. I didn't jump, dude. That's bullshit. I didn't jump. Anyway. So, but before that date that I had gone on in the summer, the last date I hadn't been on was over... Well, the last date I had been on was over 5 years, and the last time I had kissed a guy was over 10 years. So it's like, I found someone who wants to kiss me, so I totally fucked this up. So that's where I was coming from.
Yeah.
And, like... So, like, I was like, once we got caught, I was like, okay, now I need to lay down the law that no more coming to work, because if that happens a second time and my boss happens to be there, like...
Yeah, that's not okay, and you really like your job.
Yeah, I do like my job. It's a lot better than my old job, and it's still hard, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of, like, residual McDonald's issues I have to work through there, and that kind of sucks. Like, I feel like I have to ask to go to the bathroom, which is pretty shitty.
Yeah, that's more of your own personal habits to get over.
Well, right, but part of it too was because when I was at McDonald's in the afternoon, I would be doing the job of 2 or 3 people as one person, so I basically had to ask because someone needed to cover my spot. Like, I couldn't just walk away. It was never slow enough for me to walk away for that amount of time. Like, even if I went in the freezer to get, like, fries or cookies or pies or something like that, I still needed to ask someone to wash my back for even 1 or 2 minutes because someone would come up. Like, that's how busy our store was, whereas this store isn't quite as busy, and there's enough people to cover when it is who know what they're doing that I don't need to be as paranoid about it.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm a driver, and most of the time when it's busy, I'm out of the store anyway, so they know how to cope with less people. So that's really nice, and that's just something I need to work through. But I was like, man, if I get caught, and apparently corporate's coming on Monday, so I work Monday nights, but they're coming Mondays days, and I hope that they're gone by the time I get there. Because
this lag is not okay.
Yeah, no, it's not. Because I don't do well with corporate. I didn't do well with corporate at McDonald's, and I really don't want to push my luck with corporate here when I'm so new. Because, with corporate, I kind of turn into, how do I put this? I don't know if it's just because I wasn't happy at McDonald's, or if I just thought their whole system was so bullshit that I couldn't take it, even before I became disgruntled. But I tended to become really sarcastic. I am generally not a sarcastic person, but whatever McDonald's and corporate brought out in me made me incredibly sarcastic and backhanded in my comments of, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Just think it in my head. I would have to say it. Because one time my boss and after a while when corporate showed up, I was like, look, I just can't talk to corporate when they're here, right? I just can't do it. It's just one of these things where if they ask me a question, I will answer it. Otherwise, I am keeping my mouth shut because I know what I do, and I know what I think of the place, and Why are we regressing so hard? Just the lag, you think, or I don't know.
The lag is getting a little worse, but
Yeah.
let's just say it's that.
So, yeah, just corporate brings out things in me because I already thought the management to begin with was hypocritical, and then corporate is like the epitome of the hypocritical management, or at least the way I saw it. So, and then one day my boss was like, "Well, just be honest." And I literally, this was after I had gotten my diagnosis, but before I quit. My Asperger's diagnosis. So I was like, oh, the last, like literally out loud, I was like, oh, the last thing you say to an Aspie is be honest. Oh my god, what are you even thinking? Like,
No! The input delay.
I know, it's so bad right now. Yeah, so it was, I literally said that out loud. I'm like, the last thing you should say to an Aspie is be honest.
Yeah, that's not really what they mean when they ask you to be honest.
But the extremism and absolutes and
Yeah,
trying to get better about that and
honesty
Yeah.
for that. It's what they want is, you know, to say the actual things, but to be polite about it, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't do that when I'm
No.
frustrated.
Oh,
When
no.
I'm frustrated, honesty means honesty.
Instead of saying, like,
I mean, like, play the game honesty. Honesty is just honesty, and I value honesty so much that it's like,
instead of, this particular aspect could do with some consideration.
right, it's,
No, this sucks.
this sucks. You need to fucking fix it. Like, and that's what I was doing, like, within the last month I was there. Like, it was literally, like, that's what was happening. Like, I was literally just like, people are ridiculous. Like, I would swear at the managers. I'm not gonna lie about that. And was that professional? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. That wasn't professional at all. But
Ah.
wow, the lag. Holy shit.
Yeah, the lag's getting worse, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're at time. Do you want to do, like, one more video?
Yeah. One
Alright.
more video is gonna take me to dinner, so.
Alright, so we'll be right back.
Yeah.